Welcome to the Kona Ealing Solutions video podcast, episode 6, a fireside chat about chatbots.
Welcome to our fireside chat. Pull up a chair, warm your cockles. I'm going to tell you a tale of an AI interface that's going to revolutionize the way people interface with computer systems. That system's known as a chatbot, or also as simply as a bot, or as a conversational interface. And in many ways, the last is probably the most descriptive, in that what a chatbot allows you to do is to have a conversation with a computer solution. So instead of chatting with a human, you're chatting with the software. And instead of using a search engine or filling out a form to interact with the solution, you'd simply ask it questions. So at its core, a chatbot relies on AI technology, the main technology being natural language processing. And what that means is that the software has the ability to understand the nuances of language. So, I mean, a simple example would be a good chatbot will know that, similar phrases like, what hours are you open? When is your store, when can I come to your store? What time can I visit your store? Those all have, the answer to that question is all the same, in that they want to know your store hours. So that's what natural language processing allows you to take into account the fact that there's different ways to say the same thing in English and in most languages. So when it comes to the chatbots, it really sits on that core of natural language processing. But there's many other components that can kind of be layered into it. At the most simple level, you could take your most frequently asked questions that you receive, and those might be questions that are going to your customer service desk. They might be questions that your prospects are asking of your sales department. They might be questions that are being asked of your human resources department by your employees. Something like, how many hours do I have left? How many vacation days do I have left this year? So what the solution will do is answer those questions using the FAQ. And so in a lot of ways, anyone that's been answering questions about their organization for a while, they probably know the majority of the questions that people are going to ask. And 80% of the time, the question that someone asks can be answered by a chatbot, and the other 20% can be relayed to a live person, or they can leave a message. So nice thing about a chatbot, some of the benefits include it's available 24/7. It's always there. It's always ready to answer questions. So if someone has a pressing need to ask some questions, get some answers, they can do it at midnight. They can do it at 5 in the morning. They can do it whenever it's most convenient to them. Some of the other benefits is that you can kind of standardize what your answers are. You can make sure that the chatbot's going to answer exactly what you put into it. So it takes away the potential for people to get different answers depending on, let's say, what service agent they talk to or whom they talk to in HR about a certain program or policy. Another way that chatbots can be used is in marketing and branding. It's potentially very powerful in that you can not only load an FAQ, you can start loading creative into a chatbot. You can start doing very interesting things, and I'll show you a few examples of how people have used chatbots in marketing and branding to help with particular promotional campaigns, and also just to help to build their brand overall. So why don't we do that now? I'm going to show you a few examples of chatbots on one of what's growing to be one of the most popular platforms, which is Facebook Messenger. Facebook Messenger has a very good toolkit and API for building out chatbots on that platform. And there's billions of users on Facebook, so it's a very good place for lots of organizations to start doing that interaction. Nice thing about Facebook too, not unlike all the other chat solutions, of course, is that typically you're going to reach a younger demographic. It's a great way to get at the folks that are looking to interact with your company in a non-traditional fashion. They don't want to call. They often don't even want to email. The ability for you to, if you give them the chance to interact via a chat solution like Facebook Messenger, they're going to be very pleased with your particular product or brand. So, and I should mention that besides Facebook Messenger, almost all of the major chat platforms have now taken on or now have support chatbot platforms or solutions, including Skype, including Slack. Microsoft has a very strong bot platform, as does Amazon. The list goes on and on and on. So, and obviously you can also do a custom chatbot that you can deploy on your website or on your customer portal or wherever you'd like to put it. It's very flexible. The possibilities are virtually endless right now, and expect to see this chatbot technology really explode over the next 5 years. You're going to see it everywhere, because it's a way to get information from a computer application or system that's much more natural to most people. They prefer it to the types of interfaces that have been available to them up to this date. So let me show you a few examples, and then we'll wrap up afterwards. Thanks.
So we're now within the Facebook Messenger platform. I'm going to show you some chatbots in here. As I mentioned, it's becoming a very popular platform for chatbots. Most of the chatbots I'm going to show you are within the kind of sales, marketing, branding area, or kind of general information. The HR chatbots are typically within an intranet, of course, and within customer service, there's kind of some interesting things happening. A common deployment for chatbots is as an assistant to a live agent, so it just allows the agent to answer questions much more quickly. It's kind of like the agent acts like as an editor. The chat question will come in, the chatbot will answer it, and then the live agent will decide whether they need to add anything or whether they can push it the answer directly out to the customer or client. And so this is a very effective model to go with. It's kind of low risk. You still got some intermediation, but what it will certainly do is speed up the amount of calls that an agent can handle, because the chatbots can find the correct answers much more quickly than a human typically can. So the chatbot I have up right now is 1-800-Flowers. I'll just show you over here. I've already hit the button, but within Facebook Messenger, all of the chatbots start with a get started, which that initiates the conversation. It tells the chatbot that the person is ready to talk to them. Typically, you will give folks multiple opportunities to follow different paths for information if they so choose. And here, here's an 800 number that I can take advantage of, or I can go to customer service, which will take me to a live agent, or allow me to send email in. But I'm going to choose to use the chatbot to place an order. The nice thing about 1-800-Flowers is that it allows you to actually place a full order within the system. Here's an order that I did previously. As you can see, the system will actually pull an address for you. if they have one in the system, if already in their enterprise software, they'll usually be stored in a CRM, let's say. This brings up a good point about chatbots. To make them more powerful, one thing you can do is integrate them with your enterprise systems, and that might be your CRM, it might be your ERP, it might be your e-commerce solution, or anything else. But you know, if your chatbot can go out and grab data from your corporate systems, it makes it that much more powerful. It can answer more questions. It can do more things. As I mentioned, in the case of 1-800-Flowers, you can actually place a full order using the chatbot. So the chatbot's going to query. Once I say I want to place an order, it'll give me what I'm looking for. I can view arrangements. It will give me some different choices I can choose from. Then it will ask me, for the delivery information, address, phone numbers, email address, that type of things. When do you want to place your order? Do you want to put a message in here? You can do pretty much everything. Every function that you can do within the regular ordering process, you can do within the chatbot. And frankly, quite a few people find using a chatbot to do the order more efficient or more pleasing. It just seems like a more natural way to place the order. So 1-8-Flowers done a really good job with their chatbot. Let me show you one that's just like kind of a simple information chatbot, which is Poncho the weather cat. And Poncho specializes in weather. Poncho also shows you something that you can do with your chatbot is depending on what you're trying to do, you can actually give it a personality. You can include jokes. You can make it have a certain attitude when it's answering questions. It might be super helpful and friendly. Might have some be a little sarcastic. I mean, obviously it depends on the branding, depends on what your objective is, but you can do pretty much whatever you want from that perspective. And you can deliver the personality via the answers, and you can also program some of that personality into the AI component of the chatbot. So you can see here, and the other thing that a chatbot can do, certainly within Facebook Messenger, and I think pretty much on every other platform, is once you've engaged with the chatbot, it will ask you if you want to subscribe, and if you subscribe, then it will send you notifications. So works very well for something like weather. Obviously, sends automatically a chatbot Poncho sends me a weather notification at 8 in the morning, and sends me another one. I think it's 7 o'clock at night. And then also whenever I get it, I can also choose to get more information. So if I want to get an hourly forecast, I click the button, and it will come back with the hourly forecast. Here we are. See, so you can see what's seems like the trend is for some rain later today. Everything else will be fine. So it's a simple little application, but as you can see, you can include video. You can throw these memes in here. You can put some jokes in. It can be very engaging. Obviously, it takes a little effort. Takes some creative. Certainly a fair number of organizations are going to lean on their ad agency to help them with the creative. If they're doing kind of a marketing or branding chatbot, but it said you can really do some interesting things. GrowthBot is from HubSpot, and it actually includes some cartoons, but it also actually has some really nice integrations. You can ask it for PPC keywords. So let's see what pay-per-click keywords is Uber.com buying. here's all the keywords. Here's so this is public, coming from a public database that's pulling this information. I think it's from Google primarily. It's showing them what keywords are they buying and how much are they paying for it. So it's very interesting. I mean, if you're in digital marketing, this is very useful information. As I mentioned, they also push out cartoons. They give you the ability to really uh, do some interesting things, and they seem to be expanding the capabilities of the chatbot on an ongoing basis. I know I can't remember off the top of my head, but they just added some new functionality in the last week or two, which is very interesting. Newsbot, Wall Street Journal has a nice one. Same thing. Once you subscribe, it will send you over kind of like a little digest on a daily basis, and you can page through it. Anything that catches your fancy, you click on the article, and it will push you over to the Wall Street Journal. You can get updated news as you see fit. You can look for information for a particular company. It's a very nice feature, and obviously, when you subscribe, they now have you. Um, they have the ability to send information to you, and it's a great way to engage folks. And the nice thing about Facebook is that if you follow their solution, then you have all of that Facebook data available to you. So it gives you the ability to do some very interesting analytics. TechCrunch is very similar to Wall Street Journal, except obviously with a more technology bent. This one I like a lot. It's for it's by the Hendrix Gin Company in the UK. So they did this. This shows you how you can build a campaign around a promotion. They were promoting National Cucumber Day, and what they did is they set up this cucumber adoption service. Now, the tie-in with their brand is that kind of the secret ingredient of Hendrix Gin is pickle juice. So you can adopt a cucumber, and you can do all kinds of things with it, and it's just kind of a fun little thing. And as you said, they can show you videos of your cucumber being watered. You can check in. See, and it'll give you a immediate reply. You get some interesting responses sometimes. And a lot of times the chatbot, so these chatbots are programmed to be entertaining, so they're going to throw out little tidbits of information to try and keep you engaged and keep you interested, and give you some get you involved, get you to buy into whatever they're doing. In this case, adopting the cucumbers. So yeah, so here it said, how would I like to care for my cucumber? I think we'll read it some poetry. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, there's the poetry and there's the cucumber. So you get the idea. Something a little different. This is kind of like a fashion chatbot. Is Swelly. Um, Swelly actually allows folks to send in kind of a binary decision. Do you like this more, or do you like that more? In this case, it's a tropical getaway. So you can say, do you like A on the left, or do you like B on the right? You choose what you want. It will give you the rankings as to what it's kind of like a crowdsourcing solution. So folks will a lot of people, it's very whimsical. People just put things up like this about these different bedrooms, but sometimes people will try and kind of crowdsource through Swelly if they're making a fashion decision, or they're trying to make a decision about what they're going to have for lunch or something like that. It's just kind of a interesting little chatbot. Let's see what else we can get to come up here. Here's something a little topical. Which is it? I think that's the Instagram logo. Anyway, I think you get the general idea. Now you can do things like this, where you could kind of deploy this. I know one chatbot that already does this. Is if you're trying to kind of help your chatbot learn somebody's sense of style, let's say, or something specific about them, you could throw up pictures of different styles of clothing, and allow the person to choose, do something similar to this, very simple binary choice, and then do that 3 or 4 times, and give the chatbot a little chance to get some more insight into what the person likes. And then based on that, the choices they make, it can make recommendations out of your fashion catalog as to things that they might want to buy that the chatbot thinks would match up with their interests. There's lots of room to get creative and do things along those lines. One of my personal favorites is this bartender. This is the perfect kind of chatbot that you could build for an alcohol company. There's all kinds of interesting things you could do with this. So let's choose. So here's a choice of different cocktails. If I hit see recipe, there's a recipe for TNT. Let me see. I can't remember. I think this will do ad hoc recipes also. Let's see if they pull a mojito for me. No, Scotch and whiskey is not exactly a mojito. So I think this shows you something else. A different thing is that, yeah, they're depending on the chatbot, you can get some interesting results, and it's certainly more of an art than a science right now to get the natural language processing working properly. And said, some of these chatbots are very strong. Some of them can be a little more idiosyncratic, and like I said, depending on the application, that idiosyncrasy can actually be a strength. So here's you can see what's going on here. It's just going to tee up different drink recipes. So that I said, there's kind of a quick tour, just giving you an idea of some different chatbots that are out there. As I mentioned, there's there really is hardly any platforms now that don't support chatbots. So you can deploy chatbots all kinds of places. A lot of people are choosing Facebook Messenger, as I mentioned, just because there's so many people with Facebook accounts, and it's such a rich data environment. There's so much data about your subscribers you can access within Facebook. So that's our quick tour of chatbots, and a picture's worth 1,000 words. I just wanted to give you all an idea of kind of what the state of the nation is with chatbots, and to show you how a conversational interface really actually works out there in the real world. So I'll throw it back to the fireside, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, so well, I hope you enjoyed our little tour, and now let me just wrap up by saying, if you're not looking at chatbots, I recommend that you should. their versatility and flexibility and the benefits that you can accrue by using chatbots are remarkable. They're a solution that I think every organization should be looking at how they can leverage, how they can strengthen their business, increase their revenue, reduce their costs, and raise their profile. The nice thing about chatbots now too is that you're going to get interest and from your stakeholders in this type of platform, because it's going to position you as a technology leader. People are going to see you as saying, "Wow, that's a company that's ahead of the curve." So I wouldn't hesitate. I would start moving forward on chatbots as soon as you can. If you'd like some assistance with that, I'm working with some world-class chatbot developers, and I'd love to sit down with you for a free consultation and talk to you about what we could potentially do for you. Thanks again for your time, and I hope you enjoyed our Fireside Chat.